My name is George Rocour. I'm a professor at Franklin University, Switzerland. From Forum-Nexus, over the years I've taught many different courses. This year a course on the introduction to the European Union with different perspectives, economic, political, social, and a course on introduction to international business. How can a company that big own no physical assets? Apple has perfected this idea of outsourcing absolutely everything to somebody else. Now, you'd better have really good quality control and timing integration for all those parts to come together.
In this program, we get to teach whatever we are looking at. So for example, if we go to Rome, we're going to speak about the Colosseum. We're going to speak about the Romans, the Forum, whatever happened during that time that is related to the city that we're visiting. My goal is to try to get students to approach art in a very different way, in a way that it is closer to you, that you have a relationship with those objects that we find that are masterpieces, but why are they masterpieces? Once you see them and you get that experience, you understand it better. So people really go every year to see this effect, which is really interesting, how the engineering was done to make this. And I'm going to tell you something else, but I don't want to spoil the story, so let's just hang in there.
We all know that the European Union is extremely diverse. What is the impact of having one currency uniting all of these different countries?
This crisis doesn't just talk about Greece. It's happening in Italy, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, and Greece.
I think we consciously try to make the academic experience more than just the particular credits, but to bring in a larger cultural and historical context to what we're doing.
The policies currently operate on a reactive approach. If we look at what the government can do or what additional incentives or initiatives that can help resolve this problem.
Indian culture is more about consumption and not status. Like in European market, it's more about status. You buy Louis Vuitton, you need to have a Gucci.
There was a dilemma about how to manage the transition of these countries once the dictatorships were winding down. It's a very volatile situation. Which way will the country go into?
In 1960, we started our openness to the rest of the world.
It has become increasingly clear that no matter how qualified you are as a student, you really need to improve what we call in Forum-Nexus your level of international IQ. By international IQ, we mean the level of exposure to what's going on in the world, be familiar with world leaders, world capitals, airports, countries, languages, move comfortably from one culture to the other, from one continent to the other. An informal definition of what do we mean by international IQ is the minimum that you need to know in order not to make a fool of yourself in an international setting. If you don't focus too much, you will not be able to tell the difference whether you're in Switzerland or in Italy. But if you start paying attention, you will very easily tell the difference. Because Italy, as you will see, culturally there is less of a tendency to play by the rules, right?
Just contact me and just send me the assignment, okay?
Okay.
So if you have any other questions, just or email me or find me.
Okay.
I'm always available.
Okay, yeah, no, I think that answers all my questions.
Perfect.
I figure we can always meet like once a week or like
Yes.
10-15 minutes.
Perfect.
Make sure.
So I just took my international IQ exam and it was actually pretty fun to take. I really like how it was structured, but I am very glad it's over.
For instance, I'm in an international marketing class and I've learned things that you don't learn in just a standard marketing class back home. Things that apply to a global scale and it's been really great.
So, you know, how history influences, for example, a company, okay, depending where we are, you know, how prominent, you know, do we make, should we make our label? Or maybe it's better not to use, a big label at all.
So the students learn a lot from their interaction with the professors, not just in the classroom, but primarily outside the classroom. Remember, the professors travel with the students for the whole month of the program, so there are a lot of opportunities for interaction outside of the classroom. So it becomes one full intensive month of many experiences. So I feel that we have achieved the magic combination. The students take the classes seriously, they study for the exams, but we want them to enjoy the cities. We want them to enjoy the nightlife. We want them to go shopping and to go to the museums, and they do have time to achieve all of that.
Going to the top.